4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes, we're gonna hold into this.
Second five.
We're gonna 4.5 minutes that he gets.
Molly knows how to control me, says,
I'm gonna sit right here.
number one, put me after Rick, which, you know, cuts into my time.
You got 3
And then
minutes.
tell me 5 minutes, and now I see him putting food out.
You got 3 minutes.
No. All right. Fine. I'm working with a project in South Carolina for the 250th, finding markers over South Carolina. Now, these markers that we're talking about are the rectangular, square, aluminum markers all up and down the roads of South Carolina. So this is primarily for South Carolinians. However, you people from out of state can take this idea back with you. Charles actually gave me the ultimatum and the challenge to find markers in South Carolina that related directly and strictly to the American Revolution. We have found about 250 some odd of those markers over South Carolina. In the process, you know, we start seeing these little brown signs, and those of you from South Carolina have certainly seen those. It's about 2 foot wide and 18 inches tall. And it warns you or alerts you to the fact that there's an American, or there is a historical marker coming up. I felt like we deserved better than that. We deserved more. So we came up with this idea of working with our state-issued license tag, RW, and this is an actual license tag. From there, we moved to the idea of, okay, this is what a Rev War ahead marker could look like. Pitched that to Charles. Charles thought it was an excellent idea, and he suggested that he and I go to the Department of Transportation in South Carolina together. So we went to their main office in downtown Columbia, and we're going to ask SCDOT for a favor. We're going to ask them to allow us to do something. Charles and I were both very apprehensive about how that meeting was going to go. DOT kind of has a reputation of doing things exactly the way they want to do them and don't want to do it the way anybody else wants to do it. But anyway, Charles and I went. We were overwhelmed by their response, how excited they were about that. We began working with them, we began working with their engineers, started coming up with designs like this, scale drawings, and they were just really all up for this idea. They thought it was great. So we continued to talk to them, and now we're going on to about a year talking about this sign. And after working with them for a long time, then of course budget comes into play. Who's going to fund this? Where's the money coming from? And I won't go into all the details on that. But between the 250 Commission and DOT, everybody has pitched in, and now we have a sign that looks just like this in real time. This is a nighttime version of the sign. The sign over here to my right and your left is an actual sign that will be installed. It is replacing, like I said, the little small brown sign, 24 inches by 18 inches. This is 36 inches square. It's very visible at night. There will be signs before and after 44 historical markers that relate to the American Revolution being installed before the end of the year 2024. We have another 160 that will be installed before the end of 2025. So we presently have about 36 markers with the little small brown sign. We're increasing that from 36 to over 200 state markers that will have this brown Rev War sign ahead. So please be on the lookout for it. Tell your friends and neighbors about what it is. The only obstacle that we had, and I'm getting close, Molly, the only obstacle we had with SCDOT was they didn't want us to use the words or the letters RW. So they suggested Rev War ahead. A little different than our license tag, but they didn't want to use RW because they thought it stood for right of way. And so Their problem with RW really increased the value of the sign in the fact of adding Rev Ward. But this will be the only ahead sign that will signify any particular type marker coming up. You know, between all the different type markers they have today, they have allowed the Rev Ward group, thanks to the 250th Commission, to designate their markers and their markers only. So look forward to seeing those on your roads nearby. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to keep you behind class, so.
It wasn't too bad.
No, I'm just kidding. Housekeeping, at 6 o'clock, you'll want to be back here for dinner. If you have not read the bio of Marty, who will be presenting at dinner, please do. He's a executive chef, he's also the general manager of Camp David, and a special investigator, which will be an interesting story, I'm sure, but he's going to be talking about